Good evening. As you probably know by now, if you've watched a few of my videos, what matters most to me is giving you the ultimate invitation to remember who you are as a soul while learning how to be the imperfect human being you came here to be. Hi, for those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Dr. Connie Numbers, and today you are going to be given the golden ticket to show you one of the best ways to do just that. To experience who you are as a soul and what that really feels like while still living your human life. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share one of my most favorite and most powerful awakening practices you can do to actually experience both parts of yourself at the same time. You really do not want to miss this video. And here's the part that might surprise you. This golden ticket I'm about to share has been in your pocket your entire life. You just haven't known where to look. But by the end of this video, you'll see it and you'll feel it. This video, I think, is really pretty exciting. So to know what this experience feels like, let's start with another experience we all have, and that is having a dream. So when you're dreaming, it feels completely real, doesn't it? There's no doubt in your mind that this is really happening. Sometimes your heart races, maybe you're lost or late for something or trying to find someone you love, and your mind believes every single bit of it as it's happening. Just last night, I had this recurring dream of being in this huge parking lot, and for the life of me, I can't find my car. And when I wake up, I say, oh, I'm so glad that was only a dream. But here's what's really fascinating. There are always two of us in the dream. There's the you inside the story, in the dream, the one who's lost or late or feeling all the emotions, or in my case, frantically looking for her car. And then there's the you who's watching all of this take place. Think about it. There's me looking for my car, right there. And then there's me watching me look for my car. So right there, live and in living color, woohoo, are the two parts of us we've been talking about in our videos. Our human self, the dreamer, the one who's dreaming, and our soul, the observer, the one who's watching the dream. So let me ask you this. If we can be both the dreamer and the one watching the dream, what does that say about who we really are when we wake up? Woo! Now, hold that thought, because here's where we get to the good part. Now, I want you to imagine that your life is a play. I mean, it's a magnificent, complex, deeply convincing play. And like the dream, it feels really real. I mean, really real. And it's supposed to. But also like the dream, there are still two of us in this play. There's our human self going through having a physical lifetime, and then there's the soul of us watching as our play unfolds. You see, your soul is something inside you that's just kind of hanging around. It's the real you behind your human eyes, watching your human self go through life. Your eyes are literally the window to your soul. Now, your soul may be the one doing all the watching, but your human self is the star of the show. And since every play needs a lead actor, a main character, guess what? That's you, your human self. You've stepped into a role, learned all the lines, and you feel all the emotions of this character that you're playing. It's kind of breathtaking, isn't it? Realizing that you've been playing this role so convincingly that you forgot you were ever anything else. But like all actors, when the play is over, you take off the costume and go home to your real self. And this is what your soul does in every single lifetime. It chooses the character it will play, you, and then lives its life through that character. And when the earthly play ends, it returns home to the truth of who it really is. And that's when we finally, all of us, have the full realization that our human adventure really was a play, and that we were really playing a role the whole time. Now, here's the question that changes everything. And it's the one your soul's been waiting for you to ask. So what if we didn't have to die before we had that realization? What if we could become more awake now while we're still in the play? This is every soul's greatest wish, to remember itself while living a physical life, to awaken in the middle of it all while the story is still unfolding. What an incredible thing it would be if we could become awake while we're still in the play. And in just a minute, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. But first, I want to show you the value of what happens when you start seeing yourself as that character in a play. And here's where things start to shift. Because once you see your life as a play, something extraordinary begins to happen. You begin to create a little distance between your soul, the observer, and the emotions of your character. Your soul, that calm, steady part of you, gently steps back and begins to watch you. It sees how your character gets anxious when things feel uncertain, or how she shuts down when she's hurt. So you, as your character, can still feel all the feelings, anger, sadness, frustration, whatever comes up. But now you can also watch what triggers her, how long it lasts, and what story she's been telling in that beautiful head of hers. And by watching the feelings instead of being in them, you're no longer swept away by them. You're not inside the storm anymore. You're the one watching it pass. And this is why this higher perspective is so freeing. I love this because it helps you to love your character, flaws and all, without trying to fix her. There is no judgment, only acceptance. And this is your soul loving you unconditionally. And this is how you start to become awake while you're still in the play. Okay. Are you ready to experience what your soul actually feels like while you're still in the play? Because this next part is the moment we've been waiting for. So as promised earlier, here's how I become awake while still being in my play. I call it Soul for a Day. And here's how it works. I pick a day and I decide right from the start that I'm going to step out of being Connie Numbers, the character, the human, and instead I'm going to be Connie Numbers Soul for the Day. But remember, when you're playing the part of your soul, you only feel love and anything that has to do with love, like compassion, understanding, and acceptance, because that's who you are as a soul. So when feelings come up, and they will, you simply watch your character having those feelings, and you watch her with love. So imagine your beautiful soul inside you using your human eyes to see everything that's happening in your life. Your job in this exercise is to practice stepping back from being the character to watching the character go through her day. So let's try it right now. I want you right now to picture yourself walking through a grocery store. Can you see it? Now watch yourself having a conversation with a friend. Now notice yourself feeling irritated about something that really bugs you. Can you see yourself? And now watch yourself right here in this moment listening to these words. See? You can do it. That's it. That's what I mean by stepping back. You're practicing seeing life through your soul's eyes, watching with awareness instead of being completely lost in the scene. Now, of course, you're going to slip back into being the character throughout the day. That's normal. Happens to me all the time. But just remind yourself, oh, right. Today I'm playing Soul for a Day. And then step back again. What's amazing is that when you practice this even for a single day, you start to realize you've never really been alone. There's always been this quiet, loving witness right there with you. So now the last thing you do At the end of the day, I want you to take a few quiet minutes alone and let your soul speak to you about what it saw. You might want to write it down because I guarantee you will hear something. Your soul is always ready to speak to you. And remember, this is meant to be fun. So now you're going to ask your soul this question. Well, my dear soul, what did you see today? And then, whether you write it down or just say it in your head, begin with these 3 words. I watched her. Or, if you're a guy, and I haven't forgotten you're out there, guys, I watched him. This is how you give your soul a voice. You're not imagining, you're not making it up. You're simply letting your deeper self speak about what it saw. So to give you an example, this past week, I played Soul for a Day. And what I'd like you to notice is that what my soul witnessed wasn't just what I, Connie, the character, was doing, but also how I was feeling while I was doing it. So when I ask, okay, my dear soul, what did you see today? Here's what I heard. Well, I watched her laugh. And I especially loved when she laughed at herself. I watched her cry because she was feeling overwhelmed with love. I watched her feel compassion as she watched animals being rescued on YouTube. I watched her light up when she opened that fresh bag of Cheetos. I watched her get irritated when things didn't go the way she wanted them to. I watched her become impatient and lose her peace when things didn't go the way she wanted them to. I watched her soften as she petted her dogs. I watched her feel love for her husband when he sang some crazy song in the shower because he couldn't remember the real words. I watched her wonder how long she thought she was going to live. I watched her bless a stranger. And I watched her remember that I was watching her. And so she actually smiled and waved to me and said, hello. I loved her acknowledgement of me. I watched all of her with love, and I'm happy to say, she's all mine. Now, you might think you already know what your soul would say, but wait until you actually hear it. It's like receiving a love letter from the most ancient part of yourself. Wouldn't you just love to hear how loved you really are? Well, you can, if you will just allow yourself to practice listening to your soul in this way, because this, my dear friends, is how you become awake while you're still in the play. It's this awareness. It's this companionship, this unconditional love, this deep acceptance, this sense of being held, and this union between your soul and your human personality. This is what brings peace and love into your whole being. And the beautiful part of all this is that you don't have to wait till the end of your life to find this peace and love. You can experience it right now. Just this practice alone of being the observer and watching yourself from the eyes of your soul can be life-changing. But once again, none of this happens without practice. I know you hear me say this over and over again, right? Now, you might feel a little silly starting out this exercise, but I can guarantee you that if you keep practicing stepping back and observing yourself, not only will you learn a lot about yourself, it's now your chance to experience what it really feels like to be a soul who observes her human self without judgment, who accepts whatever shows up, who allows whatever feelings to appear, and who loves you throughout the whole experience of it. Hey, you've wanted someone like this your whole life. And here it is, inside you the whole time, waiting for you to remember. And that's when you realize your life, your play, is truly Oscar material. Because you've played your part with courage and heart, even on the days you wanted to walk off the stage. And by the way, you've learned to play this role beautifully, because there's no one who can play you better than you. So yes, the Oscar goes to. I'm so excited. Oh, You. So yes, the Oscar goes to you for showing up and doing the best you can in your life as fully as you can. But most of all, for being here today and making the effort to remember that your human self, your character, is in the most important play of her life. And who you really are, aw, is the soul who loves her. Remember that golden ticket I mentioned at the beginning? Well, this is it. It's the moment you realize you can live your human life and your soul life together right here, right now. I hope you enjoyed this video because I truly loved making it. And now that I'm a YouTuber, I finally understand why everybody says, please like and comment and share and subscribe. Because it helps YouTube send out those videos to more people. And that's my purpose right now, to reach as many hearts as I can. So thank you for supporting me in that way. And if you like this video about the choices our soul makes being in this lifetime, check out my video, We Left Heaven for This, where I talk about the 3 main reasons our soul chooses the human experience for its journey. So until our next time together, always remember that even though you may not always like the character you're playing, there really is no one worth knowing more than you.